Alright guys, back with another video. So Nanos just recently put out their poll, and usually we give Nanos a hard time because they're a little bit biased, well, more than a little bit biased towards the liberals, but they do have an A+ official rating according to 338. So that's why I wanted to kind of cover them. I'll show you that here. I know Nanos is definitely biased towards the liberals, but he does have an A+ rating, and a lot of you guys in the comment section said that you wanted me to do more polling on those kind of polls instead of, Ecos, which somehow has a B+, but really shouldn't. But nonetheless, what Nanos is showing here is that this is the Liberals' best case scenario by far. Right? So, I'll have a look at the numbers first. So, it's 182 seats for the Conservatives, Liberals 105, Bloc 37, NDP 17, Green 2, which still is a majority government, right? So, as much as we wouldn't like seeing that, that's still too close for comfort, in my opinion, even though the result is the same, right? Because they can still pass, pretty much any bill they want. They would have a majority government. That being said, most people I know who aren't even conservative want to vote against the Liberals just to send them a message. Kind of, hey, this is what you get for screwing me over for the last 10 years. Now, this does show 38% for the Conservatives, 30% for the Liberals. Again, I think this is another manipulated poll. Nanos does have a history of being biased, not to mention who knows where they're sending. They could be sending most of these polls to Toronto and Montreal. And then, yeah, of course you're going to see it a little bit closer. But if they're sending some to Toronto, some to Montreal, some out to Saskatchewan, some in Manitoba, some in, rural Ontario, you're going to see more, 40, 45, 46 for the Conservatives. Now, again, you see, Toronto's going to have some red seats, right? That's not going to surprise anyone, and same with Montreal. I mean, the island is basically red except for one seat. I think that's going to change. Or I think the polls are going to reflect something closer to reality. Because I don't think this is real. But that being said, it's a Nick Nanos poll. And I guess he gets an A+ because he's been doing it for a while. But, Greater Vancouver, all kinds of red. Way too much red. Toronto's going to have some red, but not nearly this much. They're going to lose way more seats than that. Now, that being said, even with all this disgusting red that we see in Toronto and Ottawa and Montreal and the Greater Vancouver and Winnipeg, that's best case scenario. That's if Mark Carney really, grinds it out and gets rid of some taxes and temporarily does some good things. We all know it's going to be back to normal if he ever wins an election. But most Canadians are not going to be dumb enough to fall for it. So this is basically what a map would look like in a Liberal voter's dreams. It can't get better than this. Okay, you've got all the major cities. Where else are you going to go? You're going to start taking, seats from, southern Manitoba? No, you're not. Alberta, northern BC. No, you've got every seat in this map that the Liberals could ever possibly dream of. And that's why I wanted to cover this the most, because I wanted to show you guys basically what a Liberal's wet dream looks like. I mean, this is the greatest, the closest they'll ever get. I don't think they'll get this close, but even if they do, even if they somehow get this close, it's still a majority. And there's no different. People say majorities, I want a super majority. Once you get past 172 seats, you've got a majority. Technically, there is no super majority. People just like to say that because it looks better, and I agree. Right? I want 250 seats. I want 50% of the vote. 100%, I'm with you on that. But if somehow Carney starts pulling strings and starts, maybe implementing a universal basic income, even all that is not going to save them. Even all of that still won't win them all of Toronto. Even all that. I mean, look at the Maritimes. There's still a lot of blue out there. Not to mention, the more older you get, the more likely you are to take a poll. Kids don't take polls, but more kids are starting to vote now. And when I say kids, I mean young adults. They're going to overwhelmingly vote Conservative. So, when we make these polls, when they make these polls and I report on them, we just have to remember this so that when we look back at how much of a landslide it really is for the Conservatives, we can go back and we can laugh at Ecos and Nanos and Pallas. Right? I mean, those are the three most liberal leaning polls by far. And they're showing something that is way closer than what reality is showing. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think this is best case scenario? Do you think this is not even in reality? 30% does seem high for the Liberals. Please let me know what you guys think. And hey, by the way, please feel free to roast Nanos. Roast them all, because they're delusional. They're trying to manipulate by where they're sending their polls, and we have to keep covering this to not let them get away with it and expose their madness. So let me know what you guys think. Please don't be shy. Please also don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really helps grow the channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back shortly with a new video.